5 News This Morning starts now.
Well, some local bars and other venues are taking extra steps to make your nights out safer. We'll have more on their training in minutes.
Here's a look at those temperatures this morning. Nice warm start to the day, and then we got some cooler weather on the way. Details coming up.
Plus, a new study shows tobacco use in Arkansas is higher than the national average. Our reporter Claire Everbach will break down the numbers. First, we're taking a live look outside. There the lights
There are the
are.
lights.
Maybe they listen to us.
Maybe they come on at 6.
Yeah, or 6:30. I don't know, but we had that shot up earlier. We said how.
Maybe they heard us.
Yeah, I think they did. We were talking about how sad it looked like without the lights on, but that's a beautiful shot at the downtown square right there in Fayetteville. Good morning. Thank you for joining us on your 5
That
News
woke us up.
It did. It really. We all kind of looked up for a second, but I do want to say if you're getting out of the house today, finishing those last minute holiday shopping, whether that's for Thanksgiving or even getting a head start on Black Friday.
Christmas,
Today's a good day to do it.
Well, a lot of those sales have already started, so.
Oh, yeah. No, and it's really kind of funny because Black Friday, growing up, it used to just be the one day. But now we've got like Black Friday in August, and everyone's already got a head start on that. So hopefully, if you're getting out there this morning, you're going to finish up that Thanksgiving shopping because the time is ticking away for when you can defrost some of those items. So today's going to be a pretty good day to do so. So get out there. It's already warm out there. Let's show you those temperatures, and I can pretty much say it is a nice warm start to the day because the temperatures right now are close to what the highs were yesterday afternoon. It's looking pretty good out there, and you can see those temperatures ranging from the lower 50s, mostly in our northeast counties, kind of in the Boston Mountain Zone, and then right around the upper 50s in the River Valley this morning. Some patchy fog here and there, not super dense, but keep in mind this will continue through at least maybe 8 or 9 in the morning. Travel impacts, really not a whole lot going on for our local airports here into the Tulsa and Springfield metro. And if you're headed out anywhere locally, no issues going on there. Here's a look at what we've got. We've got some nice warm temperatures this afternoon, upper 50s, lower 60s, keeping those clouds. There will be a couple breaks in the sunshine here and there, maybe some localized showers as well, around 10 to 20%. And then as we head into the Thanksgiving Day forecast, it's actually going to look pretty good out there. Mostly sunny. It's going to be cooler, though, so we're going to be talking about some chilly temperatures on the way, some morning freezes potentially as well. Then we have some weekend rain chances to mention. So that's a look at what we got there. I'll have the full forecast details and your travel forecast coming up. Let's go ahead and look at that traffic this morning, and we'll let you know what's going on here across the region. Activities picking up, no accidents to report on. Take it slow, take it easy, and, of course, we'll have more looks on your traffic and your weather coming up.
Thanks, Joshua. Well, we're at the start of the Thanksgiving travel period. Gas Buddy says drivers should see reasonable prices at the pump.
The FAA says those traveling by plane should benefit from air traffic control operations recovering from the government shutdown. However, some issues are coming up already. The FAA says a problem with an air traffic control frequency caused a ground stop in Dallas yesterday. Near Seattle, a pipeline leak is limiting jet fuel supplies.
Her flight got rerouted and delayed. She has to take a stop in Alaska because of the fuel line thing. She thought it was very inconvenient. I mean, she has to be on a flight for an extra 6 hours or something.
Meanwhile, projections from AAA and Gas Buddy disagree about whether the number of drivers will be higher or lower than last year.
In total, AAA expects about 82 million people to be going at least 50 miles from home this Thanksgiving. 6 million of those people will travel by air and 73 million will drive. AAA says if you do plan to hit the road this year, it's a good idea to watch the forecast for snow and ice. They also suggest having an emergency kit if you have a car trouble.
Number one, you want a good way to stay warm and keep everybody else in your vehicle comfortable. If your, for example, battery does die and you're away from home, you can't start your car to turn on the heater. Hats, gloves, blankets, maybe for everybody that normally travels in your vehicle are good items to keep.
Well, happening now, Arkansas law enforcement are reminding drivers to buckle up on the roads this Thanksgiving. State police say their Click It or Ticket campaign runs through November 30th. Officers will be enforcing seatbelt laws with the goal of keeping travelers safe over the holidays. Well, a new report from the University of Arkansas shows tobacco use in the state is above the national average.
5 News reporter Claire Everbach joins us now with more on this survey and its findings. Good morning, Claire.
Good morning, Jacob. Good morning, Tiffany. Nearly 10,000 Arkansans participated in the survey. It's the largest health survey in our state's history, and researchers say it's not only helping them understand how many people are using tobacco, but where.
When it comes to the numbers, the survey shows around 24% of Arkansans have used tobacco in the last month, which is quite a bit higher than the national average of 18%.
Arkansas really competes for the bottom with respect to a range of health metrics consistently year after year. And so, tobacco use is no exception to those metrics.
Michael Nino, Associate Professor of Sociology at the U of A, says when conducting the research, they saw the numbers fit into a larger trend: overall poor health across Arkansas.
It also costs the state nearly $1 billion every year, right? So both, the cost of life is significant, but the economic and social resources that we lose year after year tied to preventable tobacco-related deaths is also substantial.
The survey also tracks high-risk areas, which helps researchers target interventions in places that need it most.
If you're looking at geographic distribution, you're seeing that it's mostly concentrated in rural areas, and then you have all these other underlying factors that are potentially explaining these patterns, like gender and race and income and food insecurity, etc.
Nino says the data shows how health outcomes can vary from one community to the next.
This isn't just a story that tells the whole of Arkansas, that there are differences depending on where you live and who you are, and we're trying to better tell that story.
Nino says the survey will be conducted every year and hopes to continue learning more to improve health across the state. California is the only state to conduct a similar survey. Claire Everbach, 5 News.
Thanks, Claire. Well, Northwest Arkansas nightlife is taking a big step, aiming to improve safety. Some popular bars and other venues have completed training through the Safe Bar Network. It's a national program that teaches staff how to handle unsafe situations. The training focuses on identifying harassment and de-escalating tense moments to keep patrons safe. Employees spent an hour in role-play exercises and group discussions to practice these skills. The venues will now display Safe Bar Network signage, letting guests know staff are trained and ready to help. 5 News spoke with the manager of Butterscotch Bakery and Bar about the trainings.
Creating a culture of prevention starts at the top, right? It starts from me making sure that my staff has the capability to protect themselves and protect the customers that come in.
Sidecar Cocktail Lounge in Fayetteville sent us a statement saying in part, quote, they are joining the Safe Bar Network to ensure a safer, more welcoming environment for all guests.
Well, in other news, the oldest living survivor of the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre has died at 111 years old. Viola Ford Fletcher was just a girl when a white mob destroyed 35 city blocks in Tulsa's Greenwood district, killing at least 300 black residents and displacing thousands. Fletcher spent her life fighting for reparations, saying that she never got over the fear that she carried from that day. Last year, the Oklahoma Supreme Court dismissed a lawsuit that argued for compensation for damages to the remaining survivors.
Well, 40 years ago this month, a 14-year-old Fort Smith girl was found murdered in South Fort Smith. And today, police are no closer to an arrest. It was the night of November 1st, 1985, when the body of Leslie Dawn Haig was found at Bailey Hill Reservoir in South Fort Smith. She had gone out for a short walk near her home. That was the last time that she was seen alive. Fort Smith police say this is still an active investigation, and everything it has collected over the years is stored at the department along with other cold case files.
In 1985, we didn't have the forensic capability we have today. The capabilities we have today are just phenomenal compared to the 80s. You know, about the best thing you could hope for in the 80s was fingerprints.
Since this is still an active case, if you have any information about this, please call Crime Stoppers at 78 Crime. And in continuing coverage, the White House says it's not going to give up after the cases against James Comey and Letitia James were thrown out Monday.
A federal judge ruled the prosecutor who brought the cases, interim U.S. Attorney Lindsey Halligan, was unlawfully appointed. Both Comey and James had faced charges including bank fraud and false statements, which they deny. Attorney General Pam Bondi has vowed to appeal, but legal experts say an appeal could be difficult for Comey's case, with the charges now beyond the 5-year statute of limitations.
For James Comey, it could mean the end of the case, depending on the timing. For Letitia James, likely not.
Bondi says she believes an appeal will be successful. Meanwhile, the White House argues that Halligan was illegally appointed to her position.